Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bowles Central. Doing my weekly mental health due diligence video. Man, I have been feeling really discouraged lately, okay? I've got some things going on in life that I did not expect. I'm sure you can relate, because 30%, 40%, 50% of life is stuff that we do not expect. And when I start feeling discouraged about life, it's very easy for me to give up on the things that I like doing, the stuff that I love making. For instance, this YouTube channel, I feel like giving up on it sometimes when I feel this way. Or the music that I make, or the writing that I do, just the stuff that I like to do, right? Or even the movies that I watch, the video games that I play, all that stuff. So, you know, this life stuff, when it happens, or maybe you just have a bad run of things mental health wise, and you start feeling really low about stuff, you may find, especially if you're really low, or if you're suffering from significant amounts of mental illness. I'll just do my regular recap. I am not a professional, mental health professional. I'm a sufferer who's been suffering for quite a while. I've had major depression and bipolar and stuff since I was, you know, middle school age. I developed schizoaffective disorder in my early 30s, and that's a form of schizophrenia. So delusional thinking and hallucinations and all that stuff. Although my symptoms have been getting better progressively in the last few years, which is wonderful, but I still suffer from a lot of other stuff besides, so there we go. I noticed that the deeper I get into a depression or something, the more I want to give up. And the more I want to give up, sometimes I do let balls drop that I really oughtn't let drop. Social obligations, friends, family, professional obligations, if I had any. And you know, the number one thing that always seems to come up is I don't want to try so hard. I don't really want to work at doing a good job at anything, or, you know, getting anything done that I used to get done. It's a trying thing, and it's like the more resistance that I meet, the more that the resistance fights me, the more that I just want to yield to it. And what I'm talking about is, hey, I gotta go get the garbage outside. Yeah? I gotta cook dinner. I gotta get the mail. I got a project to do. I got a friend to call. Nope. Don't wanna. Everything's useless. Everything's stupid anyway. Why would I want to do any of that? Okay. It's like petty thinking. It's silly thinking. I totally admit that. But if you've had mental health issues ever, I'm sure you can relate in some way to this monster inside that just kind of feeds you bleh. And, you know, most people seem to think you have a choice of listening to it or not. I'm skeptical of that at times, because I feel like, to me, you're not always responsible for the stuff that your brain feeds you. You know what I mean? But, you know, in a sense, that way of thinking isn't wrong, because it's like you still have to fight the good fight. Yeah? You still have to try, even when trying's hard. You don't have a choice about that. Because life, mental illness, but life is a sink or swim proposition. Either you get paddling or you sink, you drown. So I'm not in a position where I want to drown, even when I feel kind of like drowning a little bit. So I think other than just powering through those moments and just really making yourself do it, even though you don't want to do it. And sometimes just getting out of bed is hard, man. And sometimes that's such a pain in the ass that you don't even want to do that, but you have to do it. You got to get out of bed. You got to do what you got to do to keep your life going, to keep your loves going, to keep your passions going, to keep your energy going, to keep your friendships going, your family, and make sure everything that is important to you stays relevant and accessible and vibrant in your life, because that's what life is, man. And if we lose these things about ourselves, we lose the game, and that's it. It's game over. At least like at least emotionally, okay. And so what I want to tell you is that does not go away, that struggle, but that's okay, because you've made it this far, and that you can keep fighting that good fight. You can keep trying even when trying's hard, okay? And the other thing I wanted to talk about was there comes a time when you kind of realize, or at least I kind of have realized, that as I've gotten older, I'm 39 years old now, as I've gotten older, I've come to understand myself better. I know myself better, okay? And that maxim, know thyself, it's kind of a curative for a lot of life's issues. Knowing who you are will counteract all sorts of things that you should be in your own mind or in other people's minds. Or really, when it comes to mental illness, check this out. If I have the thought that I am a useless individual, a burden, and I need to die, and that's not a thought that I've not had before, like that's a thought that I've had before. If I have that thought, I have the ability now, at my age, knowing who I am, to go, I don't want that. I never wanted that. I want to stay here. I want to be well. I want to feel better. I don't want to feel this way. It's not about wanting to die. It's about wanting to live well. At least reasonably so, at least without the constant pain, right? So, knowing yourself, or, you know, that's a simple one, but like that's survival instinct. But also, for instance, I don't want to keep making YouTube videos. I don't want to keep making music. I don't want to keep writing because it's useless. It's stupid. I'm stupid. Everything I make sucks. Okay? That ain't me. That's not how I feel about the stuff that I make. The stuff that I make for you here on this channel, it's not the best stuff on YouTube, but it makes me feel better. It makes me happy. It makes me feel more like myself. And if I were to give it up completely, even if I didn't do it on YouTube, but give it up completely making that stuff, I'd lose a part of myself. So that's not what I want. Or I don't need this friend, or I don't need this partner, or my mom and my dad, they don't know this about me, they don't know crap about me, you know. All that thinking, you've got to learn who you are. You've got to become a specialist in yourself. You've got to understand that there is a you that exists independently and free of this false you that feeds you this garbage all the time. Maybe not all the time. When you're feeling low. There's a shadow you. There's a shadow you. You know, let's say you're walking down the street and it's a really bright sunny day and you see that stark shadow hanging off your feet. You know there's a difference between you and that thing. Learn to cultivate that separation. Learn to, as I said in my last video, develop a bulwark, a defensive bulwark against this form of thinking, this shadow being. It's not you. These delusions are not you. This way of thinking is not you. If you have schizophrenia like I do, schizoaffective disorder, those hallucinations and stuff, they're not you and they're not real, and they're not you and they're not there. Even if they were somehow present in the grand scheme of things, okay? They don't reflect who you want to be, who you deserve to be, who you know you've always like been underneath it all. You know, even the worst off of us probably can remember a time when we were just ourselves, and maybe it was a very long time ago. Maybe we were very, very little when this was. For me, I stopped feeling like myself 100% of the time around the end of grade school, around the start of middle school. That's when it started getting bad for me. And it hasn't let up. But again, the older I've gotten, and it hasn't gotten better in the grand scheme of things, it's ebbed and flowed. Sometimes it's been much better, sometimes it's been way worse than I could have ever imagined. That's been my journey, my odyssey. But you know what? The older I've gotten, the more I've realized, that ain't you, man. Don't buy the con. Separate yourself from that thing. That thing is not you. I guess I also want to say, if you're feeling as though you can't do anything, you don't want to do anything, you don't even really want to get out of bed, is it okay to give up sometimes? Dogs are barking. That's my dogs. Is it okay to give up sometimes, some days? If you feel like giving up and you're struggling, yeah, it's okay to give up some days. Is it okay to give up on life? I don't think so. I don't think you should lose that fight if you can help it. I think you should fight. Fight to the bitter end, man. But on a single day, losing the battle so that you don't lose the war, I think that that's beneficial. I mean, call me crazy for that. I've been called crazy before. Again, not professional, not offering anything clinical, just my experience. It's okay to take a nap, dude. It's okay to relax. It's okay to play a video game all day, because if I don't, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, you know, the reason that I have so many gaming videos on this channel, other than I love games, is that sometimes I've got to immerse myself in another place, another experience, another time, you know what I mean? And to tell you the truth, if I don't do that, I'll be lost a little bit. I won't be myself at all times. So I do it. If I need a nap one day, I take that nap. If I need an extra piece of pizza, I'll take that extra piece of pizza. You know, I would avoid substances, alcohol and drugs. I would avoid that if you have serious mental health. Make something else your drug. Gaming's a good hobby. It's a little bit of an expensive hobby. Start collecting stamps or the volunteer. Ooh, do something good for other people. That makes you feel worlds better. I should do a whole video on volunteering and like making other people your mission, not yourself all the time, okay? But what I'm saying is you know, like read a book. It's just like a video game. It immerses yourself in another place, and it gives like a nap, like a sleep. It gives your brain a chance to ease off and release those chemicals, and recalibrate and reset. And when you wake, it's like a blank slate. At least, or when you're done playing the video game, provided it didn't upset you, because it's like a hardcore violent game or a difficult game, then that sets you off. That does it to me sometimes. It's like a recalibration. It's like a free tune-up. And yeah, sometimes after you get that tune-up, you immediately start feeling like crap again. That's totally happens sometimes. But my point is that fight the good fight. Know yourself while fighting the good fight. But if you have to give up the fight for a day or two, give up the fight. It's okay. Who are you trying to impress, man? Who are you trying to save other than yourself at the moment? I know you've got responsibilities. I've got responsibilities. I know you've got things you've got to take care of in your life. So do I. You can't let the ball drop on your life. But for crimini's sake, you can take a break for yourself every once in a while. Just get a rest, man. Recalibrate. Take it easy. If you have the time, if you have the space to do that, do it. Lose the fight to win the war. Okay. Gosh. I hope that was a helpful thing. There was 3 things right there to help you fight the good fight. I don't want to provide bad information on here. I absolutely do not. I just want to provide like the best that I know how to provide at any one time, and I hope that you're doing well out there. And please, if you want to get in the comments section and hash some of this out or talk about what you want to talk about, I'm open for conversation. It's fine. You know, nobody's alone in this, and that's important to remember. Even if you feel like you're alone, you're not. There's a million people like you all over the world doing the exact same horrible song and dance that you got to do. Trust that. I'm one of them, sitting right here, talking to you. So, okay. I think that's all we want to do. Ooh, short video this time. 16 minutes, right on. The algorithm won't be pissed at me this time. Like and subscribe. Share, comment, notification bell. interact a little bit, yeah? And we'll see you next time. We'll do another one of these in about a week, week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. Stay tuned. We also do video game videos, and I do some music for everybody. Rain or shine, whether you want it or not. Bye.
School when I was 9, told me she had feelings, she had lies.